So I was watching some of the clips at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, which is taking place as I'm speaking, and many people saying some beautiful words, incredibly touching, heartfelt words about Charlie. And again, no one, including myself, wants to make this anything other than about honoring Charlie and the work he did. But when people come out with lies and hate, I, as someone that's a Jew, someone that wants to stand up for truth and fairness, have to push back, especially when it's people that have such big platforms. And I thought when I saw Tucker Carlson, surely he would have the dignity, he would have the integrity not to politicize this, not to indulge in conspiracy theories. And look how he's clever. He's very clever. Look how he cleverly and subtly, although frankly not so subtly, basically tries to imply and give credence to the conspiratorial nonsense that it was the Jews and Israel that killed Charlie. Horrendous, I know, but you'll see after watching this disturbing and disgraceful clip.
And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I could just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Everything is inverted, and the Beatitudes tell it.
There you go. You see what he's trying to say. He's trying to say the Jews killed Jesus, which they didn't. And he's, with the references to hummus, obviously implying it's talking about the Jews, and they wanted to kill him. And so too, he's saying, it reminds me of Charlie. What happened with Charlie reminds me of what happened there. You should know, by the way, that this lie has led to millions of Jewish people killed, slaughtered, because of this narrative that it was the Jews that killed Jesus. Even if it was one or two Jews that were involved, you're now going to hold the entire Jewish people responsible for future generations forever? Unfortunately, there's a very dark side to Christian anti-Semitism throughout history. And Tucker is not just indulging in it, but he's actually trying to, I believe, very cleverly and cynically, and not so subtly as I say, try to further the narrative that people like Candace Owens and others have been pushing. There's no other way I can look at this and construe it other than in that way. By the way, you should know that plenty of the biblical prophets, the Jewish prophets, weren't so popular among the people, and they were speaking truth to power. We have no issue with that in the Jewish tradition. And if I'm not mistaken, crucifixion is a Roman form of punishment. It was the Romans that killed him. Yes, the Jewish people's relationship with Jesus is not straightforward. There are some sympathetic passages in the Talmud and not so sympathetic passages in the Talmud, but that's neither here nor there. To stop making these claims about all Jews, and then to try and say that, in this case, to peddle the lie that Israel was somehow involved, which he was so clearly doing here, that's the only way I can make sense of it. It's disgraceful, and he does it in the name of goodness and decency. I really don't think Charlie Kirk would be like this one bit. I really don't. Charlie Kirk said time and again that he believed what God's clearly said out in Genesis, I'll bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. He's talking about the nation of Israel, the people of Israel. That was who Charlie Kirk was. And Tucker Carlson's weird laughing at a memorial for Charlie Kirk about being shot. There's a deep rot going on here, unfortunately. And it taps into some of the darker elements, I'm afraid to say, of anti-Semitism that we've seen throughout our history. And I don't want to make this Charlie Kirk memorial or anything about anything other than Charlie. But people like Tucker are doing that. And I feel the need to call it out. I was shocked to see it. Someone sent me this other clip of Charlie to have a watch and react to. Let's watch.
Did not like Bibi Netanyahu, and he said that to me many times, and he said it to people around him many times.
We had like an hour with Netanyahu.
He's special.
Yes.
He's a special leader.
You know why he says.
Oh, and he's everything a leader should be, right? I mean, just confident and direct.
By the way, this is not to say that maybe his views evolved a bit, but he was always clearly a supporter of Israel as a fundamental principle. Let's just clarify that.
He was appalled by what was happening in Gaza.
So, it's funny. I used to say that, hey, if you as a gay person would go to Gaza, they'd throw you off of tall buildings, right? Now they don't have any tall buildings left, so I don't... Is that too soon? I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't kill Jews.
He was, above all, resentful that he believed Netanyahu was using the United States to prosecute his wars for the benefit of his country, and that it was shameful and embarrassing and bad for the United States, and he resented it.
How do you guys reconcile with the fact that despite so many American first policies and sort of speeches he gives, he still very adamantly supports Israel, a country which at times seems to be opposed with our democratic values?
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Is America first, America only?
Yes.
Oh, see, I disagree. I don't believe in America only. You do?
Yes.
Okay, so I disagree. I don't believe in America only. I think we should prioritize ourselves, but I think there is a place for America to be involved in international relations.
Bibi's defenders on the internet will call me a liar or a kook, but that's a fact. He did not like Bibi Netanyahu.
So there you go. And by the way, this is not to say that he wasn't critical at times of Israel, but guess what? So is basically every Jew and every Israeli on the planet. There's no contradiction between being a deep believer in the nation of Israel, the state of Israel, the Jewish people, and also having disagreements. I have disagreements with Israel's policies. But there's some really cynical actors that are rising on the conservative side of American politics, and it's so important that good people stand up and state the truth and push back against this form of hatred. People like Tucker could lead this political grouping down a very dark path. I pray they don't, and many of the good people that are also involved in this fight, make sure they lead them away from that and towards making good decisions, moral decisions, and stay away from all this Jew hate, because in the end, you do that, the price is your own soul.
A quick message before we finish. We have been lied to about the Palestinians from beginning till end. Have a watch of the trailer for our new documentary called The Invention of the Palestinians, How a Nation Was Invented to Destroy Another. And if you want to watch the full thing, just click on the link in the video description. The Palestinians. We have been told they are an ancient people fighting for their homeland which has been stolen from them. This narrative has fueled decades of conflict, painting Israel as an occupier of stolen land. But what if this identity is not of an ancient nation, but a modern, cynical invention? A political construct designed not to build a state, but to dismantle the Jewish one. In this JTV Plus documentary, we're going to uncover the truth behind the creation of the Palestinian identity. How it was forged in the fires of pan-Arabism, absent in historical records until strategically rebranded in the 1960s by leaders like Egyptian-born Yasser Arafat to rally global opposition against Israel. We'll trace its roots from the Ottoman era, where Palestine was a region without a distinct people, through the pre-1948 years of Arab rejectionism, before focusing on the pivotal shift of the 1960s, when Arafat declared we should now be known as Palestinians, inventing symbols like the flag to mask genocidal aims. This wasn't about self-determination, it was about exploiting refugees, suppressing true aspirations under Arab rule, and perpetuating a war to destroy Israel. Join us as we debunk the myths of an ancient Palestinian nation, expose the strategic manipulation, and reveal how this construct has hindered peace while fueling hate. Fair but firm, This is the story of an identity weaponized, not for building a future, but for erasing one. To watch this JTV Plus documentary and access much more premium content, click on the link in the video description.